No matter what kind of collector you are, whether you're looking for that last rolling block to complete your whole collection, whether you have 20 or 30 different rolling block rifles, carbines of every caliber from every country, or whether you're looking for that last piece to complete your American collection, one of the best places to go is happening here at the end of July at the KCI Expo Center in Kansas City, Missouri, the Missouri Valley Arms Collectors Association show. This is an awesome gun show. It has mainly old guns. You can get newer guns there as well. But the great thing about this show is that there's no siding, no roofing, no Cincy booths, no purses, no Scientologists. None of that crap's allowed. It's all guns. It's at the same place that the RK shows are. The RK shows usually take you an hour to walk around. This show will take you 4 to 5 hours to walk around if you want to catch everything. It's the last weekend of July here. So if you're in the Midwest, or if you're anywhere near Kansas City and you're a collector, you need to try to make it to the show. I want to talk a little bit about different kinds of collectors, and just to kind of tie this in a little bit with the show, because it is the Arms Collectors Association show. I actually joined them. There's many different types of collectors in this group. When you go to the meetings, you introduce yourself every time, you tell what you collect. So at the end of this video, I'm going to kind of tell what kind of collector I am, or if I can even narrow that down. Now, for a lot of types of collecting, when it comes to firearms and militaria, it takes a certain kind of autist, as Othias would say, or you have to have kind of a certain form of autism. That's especially true with the pattern collector. The pattern collector is somebody like Mosin Grand guy on Instagram. I believe he calls himself Mosin Man on YouTube, but he only has 1 or 2 videos out. I hope he produces some more videos. This guy is an expert when it comes to finished Mosins, and he has dozens upon dozens of fin Mosins of various types, various makes, and he's an expert. Like, all this information is in his head, not to mention all the binders of all the research he's done. He's definitely the master of one, not kind of a jack of all trades there. But he also kind of bleeds into another type of collector, which I'll talk about in a little bit. Another pattern collector that you may know of is Aaron on Milsurp World. Danny's the main guy on Milsurp World, but you've seen a couple other guys here lately, and Aaron's kind of the redheaded dude with the red beard, and he's a pattern collector when it comes to M95s. He likes those straight pulls. Don't know why, but no, just kidding. But he knows a lot about those, and he'd be the person to ask when it comes to that. John Boy Militaria. Now, he's kind of 2 different types of collectors, but one of them, he is kind of a pattern collector on his militaria. Like, American helmets, especially like World War II helmets. He has probably hundreds of these helmets, hundreds of uniforms, especially like World War II militaria. He's really good at that. But he also kind of bleeds into another type of collector, the country collector, which I'll talk about in a little bit. The pattern collector could also go outside of Milsurps, including if you like Colt snake guns. There's a lot of people who have those, and you'll see that type of collector at the Missouri Valley show. I just don't have the OCD to become a pattern collector. The one time I kind of came close to attempting it is I tried to get, I wanted to get every make of M1 carbines, get the 10 main makes. I got up to 6 before, my interest shifted, and I'm like, hey, I got 6 of these, and these are redundant in my collection. I can, trade them off for other things. So I'm actually just down to 2 M1 carbines now. They've helped me obtain other guns. So, but that's kind of your pattern collector. I'm going to talk a little bit about the country collector and the period collector. It's kind of the same thing, really, or the same mentality. As I talked about John Boy Militaria, he's a pattern collector on the American uniforms and helmets, but he's also kind of a country collector because he mainly, I don't know if he exclusively has American, but probably 95% of his military, when it comes to helmets, uniforms, patches, all that, it's all American, and it's World War II, which that also bleeds into period collector. But he also has a whole bunch of World War I stuff as well. And country collector kind of bleeds off from the pattern collector a little bit. like Mosin Garand guy. Now, as I said, he's usually narrowly focused on finished Mosins, but he has all kinds of things that that are just fin. He likes finished stuff. He put like 2 or 3 videos out. Like I said, I think he's the Mosin Man on YouTube. He did a collaboration with me, and in the collaboration he did with me, he showed off a bunch of pistols he had that has that finished marking. Like if it has an SA mark on it and he has the money, he's probably gonna get it. You're still kind of have a narrow focus. Period collectors like a World War I, World War II, I've kind of bled into that a little bit, where lately I've kind of gotten into 19th century single shot rifles. I got a couple rolling blocks here, got me some trapdoors. These will probably be videos later on in the year. I'll probably do a couple trapdoor videos, and I like to do a couple rolling block videos. I just don't have the OCD enough to become a pattern collector in it. Like, if I get a good example of a big bore black powder and like maybe a small bore smokeless powder, I can get a good video off that. As I've started reading into the rolling blocks, like I could dive into the deep end. You'll get a first pattern, second pattern, third. I think this is like a 4th pattern, and it goes by how many screws are in there. And I need to get deeper into it to learn about it. Period collectors. There's a lot of people that are kind of in the Civil War. I never met a gun I didn't like. I'd kind of put him in the period collector category because he likes to do a lot of late 18th century stuff. Like even if it's replicas or reproductions, that's what he mainly does. And he does a lot of videos where he does it on horseback too, which is really cool. And I recommend you check him out. When I started collecting, as with most people, my gateway drug was a 9130 Mosin. I kind of started out as a period collector because I wanted to get, just like the major World War II guns. And then as I dove deeper, I wanted to become a country collector. But instead of focusing on a single country, I started getting like, well, I kind of want to get Germans and then get English and get Americans. And one thing I want to go back on the country collector, of course, the most famous example probably is Ian McCollum and his French collection. He's, even though he has a wide area he looks at, his main area of interest is collecting French firearms. What does that make me? Because like I said, I've kind of gotten into a little bit of all 3 of these, but I just don't have the OCD to stick with it. I'll get into a 6-month period where, like last year, I bought a bunch of CZs, and I kind of got into Walthers a little bit earlier this year, and I still actually got to finish the video series from all those out. Lately I kind of got into rolling blocks and some 19th century single shot and black powder type rifles. I'm looking at a German Mauser 7184. That isn't single shot, but it's derived from a single shot. When they ask the question what I collect when I go to the Missouri Valley Armed Collectors Association meetings, my answer is just like yes, because my interest is firearms, but it's not really narrower. And I'm probably what the vice president of this organization would call an accumulator. I'm outside of Milsurps. Like last year, I got in a little 5.7 kick. I've also, I'll get into modern kicks every once in a while, or I'll get into different revolver kicks. So I've kind of gotten to, the accumulator. Now, as I get older, I may narrow my focus a little bit, but I just don't have the OCD to become a pattern, period, or country collector. Another thing, I'm just not that mechanically inclined to know, or probably observant enough to really see all the very little variations on different patterns. My interest with firearms is to have a living piece of history. I love history. I love the macro history around firearms. That's why in my videos I usually tell the story within the macro history around it. I try to give a good overview of the historical events that happened around that time. To me, it's kind of living history. By shooting this, I can maybe find out, what somebody in the, army in the late 1800s had to deal with, or, experience maybe something that somebody in World War I or World War II vet, when you shoot a rifle or shoot various rifles from that area, and you can kind of compare and contrast and see who had it better. So I guess I would probably end up being an accumulator. So anyway, I hope this video didn't ramble too much. I hope it didn't get too pedantic in it. But let me know in the comments below, what kind of collector are you? And have I missed a type of collector? Let me know in the comments below. Again, please come to the Missouri Valley Arms Collectors Association show here at the end of July. Thank you for watching, and as always, have a great day.